receiver in the history of college football. Just ask them. Lamar. It's Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Lamar Thomas Show, featuring the greatest receiver in the history of college football. Just ask them. Lamar Thomas.
I was born in Ocala, Florida. I moved to Gainesville to go to high school. Been recruited probably since the 9th grade, illegally, I might add, by the University of Florida. I still can remember Coach Solinger, Don Solinger, coming out to our practice one day. Here it is, this guy comes out in the University of Miami jacket, and I said, I can't believe that's Miami out here. And, you know, I wanted to go up and say, hey, I'm Lamar Thomas. And actually, I did walk up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm Lamar Thomas. And he said, I know. And that was the start of my relationship with the University of Miami.
Having another good block, and Toretto lays it out.
You come down here, you'll be on TV every weekend, dominating. I thought about it. I said, man, where do I sign? My mom, on Saturday mornings, I would wake up and she'd be holding my hand. I thought she was the weirdest lady in the world. But she was holding my hands and she would be rubbing them and saying, one day these hands are gonna make you a lot of money. She was smart.
So now, here he is, the great one, along with co-host Gary Ferman of CaneSport.com, Lamar Thomas.
Good evening, Mr. Thomas.
Great night to you, Gary Ferman. There's a smile on my face. That means we won a game. Yes.
Yes, sir. Finally, somehow won the game. It started out a little bit slow, and we'll talk about that. But the Hurricanes had an outburst for 31 points there between the 5-minute mark of the second quarter and the end of the third quarter, and took a 31-3 lead. Ended up being a 38-10 victory. And all is well in Hurricane Land, where the College Football Playoff Committee is now starting to slowly adjust to the mistakes that they made the first time out. And Miami is right there in the middle of the action, and with 3 weeks to go here, and we shall see what North Carolina State brings this weekend, then Virginia Tech, and then Pitt, and then can start worrying about the rankings for real. Right now, it's all just a bunch of conjecture. But welcome to the Lamar Thomas Show on a Wednesday night. Tonight's show, once again, presented by CaneSport. Lamar is sitting in the store there at CaneSport at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, surrounded by all kinds of great Canes merchandise. We'll give you a little wide shot there of the store so you can see some of the stuff. What's that gray shirt over your?
This is probably still from the military appreciation.
I like that. Little different look.
Yeah,
to
nice
the
fabric. Nice fabric. I'm surrounded by dolphins. I see. Yeah, and by the way, the Dolphins won. Panthers. I mean, there's soccer. There's everything in South Florida is right. The Heat. Everything is here at CaneSport. Everything in South Florida.
So yeah, you got a home game this week. So you guys can go buy CaneSport on your way to the stadium and load up on some Canes gear there. It's about 15 minutes north of Hard Rock Stadium at 2655 South University Drive there in Davie. Pick yourself up some food on the way and go have yourself a tailgate. You need chairs and tables. They'll help you out with that at Canesware too. So just about anything you want or need, they have for you there at Canesware. We'll talk a little bit more about Canesware later in the show. But LT, we got a lot to unwrap here.
Yes.
As it pertains to our Miami Hurricanes, so many different things to discuss. And so many of those things revolved around Lamar Thomas. I mean, everywhere I looked on Saturday, I saw Lamar Thomas. You were, spinning the siren, and in fact, let me just show this right now from the get. Let's get this out of the way, because I'm going to be honest, okay? And this was, after seeing the guys that we had seen do this earlier in the show, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Irvin, and the flamboyance that they brought to the siren spin, it was a little unique watching the Lamar Thomas version of this. I'll leave it at that for now, and let's just play it real quick. I mean, you're there, and you're dressed like you're going to a country club. Let's be honest. I mean, you woke up in the morning. You thought you were going to play golf or something, I'm sure. And you're all prepped out, and very casually walked up to the siren. No tunnel walk or anything like that. Just walked right up and just started casually spinning the siren. And, give us your version of events.
Well, Gary, I savored every moment of that. Okay. I saw an opportunity, to savor the moment. And I casually walked up there. Like you said, I stood in the tunnel for a while. I got a picture or two with the Ibis just standing there with our hands on our hips, arms crossed, like we were focused on the game. Then I casually started walking towards it when they asked me to come. They were trying to tell me to come walk faster, but I was too cool for that. And when I got there, I started doing my thing, and I was, just enjoying, like I was rowing a boat in the lake. You were
rowing a boat. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, like I was rowing the boat, baby, and I was just enjoying it. Hey, man, I got to tell you something. As I was doing all that, I was thinking, this is my moment. This is my moment that will be forever viral, as far as I'm not going to be spinning it and sweating and all that stuff. But this is my moment in time. So I enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, hell, I'm not ever going to be up in the Ring of Honor. That was my Ring of Honor right there. So I enjoyed every minute of it. I got to tell you, Gary, it meant so much to me for them to ask me. One of my friends, who was a butthole, said, man, we must be running out of celebrities in South Florida. So, hey, I'll take it. But I really enjoyed it. And for homecoming, man, it meant a lot, to be involved in the homecoming festivities. I was on campus at the Alumni Center. We had an alumni meeting. Shout out to the M Club. Yeah, so Jessica Green and all those guys over there. We had a meeting, a lot of older players, a lot of older athletes, put it that way. Got to meet a lot of people that have been on that campus a long time. So it wasn't kind of cool. It was very cool. And then to go and watch the I guess they don't do fireworks no more. Like, this is all this modern, those drones. It was a drone show. And that was kind of cool too. But, just to be involved in that type of stuff. And then again, to be asked to do something for homecoming, I actually got to speak to alumni for about 45 minutes, question and answer period before the game. And then to be able to go out and do that, man, it was a long day, but it was an enjoyable day that I will always cherish, because I was asked to do it, and they could have chosen anybody else. So the fact that they chose me, it really meant a lot to myself.
And it was part of just an overall big weekend for you. Let's talk a little bit about how, start out. You spoke to the team.
Yeah.
Friday night.
The receivers. I spoke to the receiver. Actually, Saturday morning. And by 11:15, Beard, he did it last year. I guess he calls a different receiver each week, and he wants us to just say some motivational words. And I first started the question off by asking them, and I said, you don't have to show hands, but how many of you guys visualized last night when you close your eyes, your assignments and adjustments for the game? Did you go down the game plan and say, this is what's going to happen when they go cover 2? This is what's going to happen when I have to make that big block to spring it to win the game. Do you visualize all that stuff? And then I talk to the guys that don't play much. Say, hey, if you visualize it when it happens, when you finally get yourself in the game, who knows? It's a long season. You get the opportunity to go in the game. That visualization might help you gain more playing time because you might think it or see it into an existence. So I asked them about that. Then I talked to them about their legacy. What will your legacy be here? That group before you, they had, that's a strong group that was before you with Restrepo and all those guys. What is your legacy going to be at the University of Miami? And I explained to them as a guy that replaced Michael Irvin, those guys, Brian Blaze, Brett Ferman, and Michael Irvin. I mean, that was a hard thing to do for Dale Dawkins, Randall Hill, Wesley Carroll, myself. But we did it. We were able to make our own legacy. And I asked them, are you going to make your own legacy at the University of Miami? And I told them how strong we had a group chat with just receivers in it. And, we're talking about you guys because we feel like you're going through the same struggles. We went through the same struggles. We're brothers. So it's like a fraternity. So we're looking at you guys. We're talking about you guys. Now, we don't have Beard in there because, we cuss in that thing. And we know he's a good Christian guy. So we don't have him in there. But just letting those guys know that we're behind you and we understand, and I hope they understand, that when we get those opportunities, people come packing those stands to see us make plays. I get it. We got running games and all that stuff, but I always looked at the running game. If the ball wasn't coming to my side, it was a resting time for me and the DB because he knew when the ball was coming to my side, it was an all-out war. And I was going to either run by you or block the hell out of you, cut your ankles out, or do something to earn that name to be in the ruthless posse. Okay, so talking to those guys like that, and I just wished them well and just told them to go out and have fun. And that's what it looked like they did after.
Yeah, and a couple of guys, they emerged from oblivion. Dalen Upshaw, was heard from really for the first time this year, and did a phenomenal job. And Keelan Marion had a phenomenal game, 3 catches, 116 yards. He had the 61-yard touchdown up the middle of the field. I mean, so the guys in that room absolutely stepped up, just like you said. So you had your son at the game with you. And just to set the stage, when your son was little, from what I understand, he met Michael Irvin for the first time. And he got to take a picture with Michael Irvin. And now, all these years later, he's on the sideline with you. And how old is he now?
20.
I think we lost Lamar. He'll be back in a second. I don't know where he went. But, he was on the sideline with his 21-year-old son who met Michael Irvin when he was a little kid. And now he got to meet Michael Irvin again. And I'll play the video for you guys. So, a special night for LT. Having a little bit of a technical issue there at CaneSport right now. I'm sure he'll be back to us here, hopefully, in a moment. But just an overall phenomenal night for the Hurricanes as well. There he is. LT, I just showed the video of your son getting to meet Michael Irvin now all these years later. And how special of a moment was that for him?
He was the kid loves football. He's 21 years old, and he was, man, that's the playmaker. He thought back to that picture he took when he was just, I don't even know how tall. I know he was short, and at that point he was a little guy. But man, he was excited. He got to meet the playmaker, and also he got to meet DJ Khaled. So I mean, hey man, that was something too. It was a great moment, man. Again, the homecoming, it brings out a lot of things, and when you were a player, you just looked at it as a game, but now as an alumnus, you look at it as a chance to see all the people that went to school there. A lot of people coming up to you saying, I was there, I cheered when you were there, or I was in class with you, or all these things. So it's not kind of cool. It's a lot cool. So I just look, I can't wait to the next one, man. I really can't. And the fact we won. That's the most important thing. We won.
You know what my favorite part of homecoming always is in the fourth quarter of the game, no matter what's going on in the game, the alumni cheerleaders all come out, and must have been 100 of them. They come out and start cheering and doing their thing, and they're so excited, and that they get to do it all over again. And I don't know. I was there's something special about the alumni cheerleaders.
Yeah,
getting their one quarter.
I actually took some pictures with them, man. That was kind of good because I saw some that were cheering during my era, and they were like, Lamar. I'm like, hey, what's up? And so it was cool, man. And that's what homecoming is about. That you just, as a player, you really didn't know what it was about. It was another game on the schedule, and you just knew people were going to be in town, but you didn't really know why. So to be engrossed in it and to walk around that lake and to walk around that campus at night with all those students and alumnus there, it's a great experience.
Yeah, it really was. And then so of course the game gets going, and you're on the sideline, and you had a special moment involving some players and autographs and stuff. Tell us about that.
Well, it was in the fourth quarter when Malachi Tony was pretty much done. So I went up to him and asked him for my son if I could get his gloves, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was a player sitting beside him. It wasn't a receiver, but it was a younger guy sitting beside him, and the guy looked at me and said, "You want his autograph too?" And I said, "Excuse me?" I was a little confused, and then he doubled down on it. He said, "Well, to make it great if you get his autograph too." And I'm like, "Bro," and I said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." I wanted to say, "Hey, man, do you 23 touchdowns, dog, 2 national championships, bro." But again, these are different kids these days. They don't know who the hell we are. We're just old men walking around, and I get it. So I just kept my mouth shut and took my gloves, gave them to my son, who was so excited about So
isn't it kind of interesting though that they don't know really the history of the program?
Yeah, it is because Gary, I got to tell you, man, I know I did. I wanted to know who the guys that played before me. I wanted to know who those guys were. So when they came around, I got to shake their hands and meet all these guys, and especially my position, and it was more or less like looking down the top 10 or top 20 list to see who was on it, and to get to know these guys, when they come back and stuff like that. And you have a lesson in the 30 for 30.
Yeah.
If you sit down and watch the 30 for 30, you'll learn a lot about.
You'll learn about everybody.
But I don't think these kids really care about that anymore. So, I mean, it will be a great recruiting tool as far as, or great learning about your program. But I don't know if they're interested in that. I think NIL, and they would rather watch an NIL crash course.
Well, all you really had to do was just point. You know, you just had a point because right there on the sideline, I mean, your name was right in front of him. I mean, you got two walk-ons. One name. Well, no, you got. I don't even know who number 45 is. So you could have just pointed at these guys.
That was an interesting picture because all of a sudden, right in front of me, it was Lamar Thomas. And my son said, "Look at that, Dad, look." And I was like, "Holy moly, it is Lamar Thomas." But yeah, that was kind of, I should have gone up and stood by him, but I'm not Michael Irvin. I kind of stand in the back.
That would have actually been a hell of a picture.
I know. Maybe next time.
But anyway, so that was the Lamar Thomas sidelights of the night. Quite a few of them, and then while all this was going on, there was the game, and another slow start for the Miami offense. And you know, what do you think? What was going through your head that first quarter and a half?
Holy crap is what was going through my head because, you know, I knew that we had to pass the eye test. I kept saying, we got to put some points up. We got to pass this eye test for this committee. And so I was thinking, we got to put some points on these guys. And, you know, Syracuse, and I think there was a little bit of on our part, see what they're going to do as far as, because you knew they have nothing to win. I mean, nothing to lose. So they're going to do everything trickery dickery, right? And I think it was a little bit of, you know, just kind of feeling them out. They were kind of feeling us out, which I thought was kind of weird because I was thinking we would see more trick plays out of them and some fake punts and some. I talked to the special teams coach before the game, and he was like, "Man, I just know they're going to do some crazy stuff." And Fran kind of called them off of it because I talked to their special team coach who coached with me at WKU after the game, and he said, "You know, Fran, we were going to onside kick you, we were going to fake punch you, we were going to do all these things," and he kind of pulled back. So, you know, they weren't going to all out crazy stuff. And what's ironic, we ran the trick plays. And so, and Gary, we talked about this before we came on air. At first I was a little mad because I'm like, man, we freaking running trick plays against Syracuse.
People reacted the same way.
But Gary, let me tell you what happened after that trick play.
Yep.
We got an interception. That sideline was entirely different. Those kids started having fun. You could tell they were enjoying being out there. And we haven't seen that type of excitement since the beginning of the season. But they got into it. They really were enjoying the whole vibe of the game. It changed after that trick play. It's like we opened up a can of whoop ass. And man, it was enjoyable to watch from that point on. So, you know, the madness went away because I was like, man, it was so great to see these guys, these kids on the sideline, really into it and enjoying it. Not like walking around like, are we going to ever do anything crazy? And we ran a couple of trick plays, and it was a beautiful thing to watch.
So you're right. I mean, the sideline was totally different. The stadium was totally different. And it just injected a lot of energy into the entire situation. And LT, you know, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, they had success early in the year running the football, pounding it. It got to the point almost where running it in the A and B gap became an issue. And a lot of people were talking about it. Teams started game planning for it. It started getting tougher. The yards per carry averages started coming down. Maybe they just found something on Saturday that they can now hopefully bottle for the rest of the year to carry them through these last three games and maybe get into the college football playoff.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, Gary. I'm hoping that that they have found something because, you know, I really believe the eye test us scoring points is going to be what gets us in. I mean, obviously you got to win. You got to win, but some of these guys, some of these teams. I mean, you got to go out against NC State. NC State is not a slouch either. They do some very good things on offense, but you got to beat them. You got to beat them, and that once that's what it's all about. Right now, we put ourselves in that position. But you know what? We put ourselves in a position, and everybody else, it seems like they're helping us out right now. Virginia loses. Who else lost? Somebody else. It was a couple teams that lost ahead of us.
Georgia Tech lost a week earlier.
Georgia Tech lost. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we're getting help, but we have to make sure we take care of our own business.
Yeah. So 31 points in a very short amount of time. It's like a 20-minute span. They put up 31 points. And
it was Louisville. One of the
Louisville.
Yes.
But this was an offense that hasn't really been scoring like that for most of the season. I mean, the two games we lost 20, 21 points. But then there were other games where we didn't score, very well at all. I mean, the Florida State game comes to mind. I'm just going through the schedule here. The Florida game, we only scored 26. We only scored 28 in Florida State. I mentioned Louisville and SMU. So, like this issue of scoring was a legitimate one for this team. I mean, why do you think they weren't scoring in the 30s on a regular basis?
Well, I think it looked as though we were okay with just running it down your throat. As Steve Kim says, winning the time of possession national championship. It just looked as though we had our game plan, and our game plan, we felt as though you can't change our game plan. We're going to run it, play action. We're going to throw screens. It's going to be along those lines. And that's what we stayed with it. But up until this game, we saw a little bit of some different things. And, as the game got deeper into it, we saw some younger guys get in the game. And, it was some different types of plays that were called. And it looked great. It looked great.
So we talked about the excitement that came to the stadium. And I want to pull up this video. What'd you think of that, LT?
Well, it kind of reminds. I was about to say like a FIU chant. I was about to go up in that thing, up in that thing. You know what I mean? I was about to go run up in that thing. Oh, I loved it. I was down there. I was like, "What's going on up there?" And as it kept going, I'm like, "Okay." And the players were like feeling it. They were looking up, and they were starting to get into it too, man. It was a great environment, man. I like the fact that our students or whatever, who those guys went up there. I mean, there was a lot of seats up there, a lot of empty seats, and they filled them up. But it was cool to watch. Any excitement, the excitement that was going on the field. We started playing. We started getting some great. I mean, hell, what we have 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, or something like that. I mean, it was just. The butt kicking began, and we were having fun. I mean, the sideline psyche had changed. I liked it. So I don't know if those were students. Were they students, Gary? Do you know if they were students?
I think most of them were students. Not all of them, though. But this is something that started about a month ago at Oklahoma State with a couple brothers, I believe. Challenging each other, and and then it grew and grew and grew up there, and people started going viral, I think, on TikTok, and you started seeing it from stadium to stadium across the country. You know, fans taking off their shirts and waving them in the air, and obviously, you see how fast something like that can catch fire because. When they did it at Hard Rock the other day, you had hundreds of fans up, several hundred fans.
Whatever they were doing, it was. I think that the players enjoyed it too. I mean, I being down there and looking up and seeing the players look up, and it was a good feeling, man. That we hadn't experienced that feeling in that stadium. I mean, we win some games, we've lost some games. One game for sure up there and in our own stadium. So it's been the walk to the car hasn't been great, So, but I walked to the car with my chest out, man. That was some good stuff. I had to leave a little early because my daughter was in a play at Cooper City High School.
Ooh.
But I'm just happy that it wasn't me that Fran Brown said that to. The Michael Irvin thing. Michael had a lot of control. He's a little bit more seasoned than me. So
let's show everybody what you're talking about here.
Due respect. I love how you play. Don't get used to this shit. I got you, coach. I got you, coach. I appreciate you, coach. I appreciate your intensity, coach. That's good. That's what it takes. Good job,
man. Don't get used to this shit.
That guy's a clown,
LT.
Well, you know what it is, Gary. He's you get to meet a Hall of Famer that you're trying to prove something to him. Mike don't give a damn. You know what I mean? So you little man, and you're trying to prove something to one of the greatest players that say something to the man. Don't nobody care about what you're saying, man. You just got the dog smacked out of you. You know what I mean? Get on the flight, go on back to cold ass Syracuse. Okay, it's cold, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's a clown, but he got some crazy antics.
Is it okay if I say he's a clown?
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, hell, I might be.
Fran Brown is a clown.
I might be working for that dude one day. Well, so I ain't gonna say that right now. But
I'm saying it.
I mean, the fact that he said, "Don't get used to this." What? Man, you got lucky last year, bro. You got lucky, and I had a little. I was gonna say something. Hey, tell Dabo I said what's up. You know what I mean? I was gonna say
Mario in the middle of the game.
Well, I mean, he's a little extra, man. He's a little extra, and you got to win some games, man. And I get it. Last year you had an upset or two, but this year you ain't got room for that, man. You getting your behind kicked. And you're firing coaches mid-season. Yeah. Relax, brother. Relax, man. Relax. But don't come across the field. You're gonna say it to the wrong person. You better. God bless the dead. He better be glad that wasn't Jerome Brown.
Yeah.
Might have been body slammed into the field. You know what I mean?
So, well, there were some fans as he was leaving that wanted to body slam him. They were going at it with him too.
Well, I think he got fined too.
Oh, did he?
I think he got fined by the ACC for
talking to the fans.
Yeah, for what he said. So he's again, I can't say too much, but you gotta chill out, my brother. I mean, there's better ways to do it. That's kind of Butch lead, dog. I mean, you let your coaching do the talking, man. I get it. You feel good about you got a recruit down here, and we're a really good recruit too. But let's see if it stands that way. Okay. Yeah. So relax, because you could rub people down here the wrong way and nobody will want to go up there to play for you. Yeah. You gotta be very careful about how you act in Miami.
Yeah, very good point. All right, LT. So many things we still have left to talk about. I want to talk about some of the players that emerged and some other stuff, but we have a special guest that's scheduled to join us soon. So I want to take a moment now and talk about CaneSport. And let's start out by hearing from our friends at CaneSport.
Welcome to CaneSport. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right, at CaneSport, they have the largest selection of Miami Hurricanes gear anywhere. And LT, I'm going to let you show it because I know my mic is acting up here, and I got to try to figure out why. So I'm going to go wide shot with you, and I'm going to try to reset.
Yeah. So we saw this shirt right here. We got a lot. They got a lot of merchandise in here, man. Lots of merchandise. Look at it. I mean, they got all kind of stuff in here. We got speakers. I mean, Christmas coming up. Christmas is coming up. You can just get one of these speakers for your kids. Let me get it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. They got all kind of stuff in here. I mean, all kind of merchandise: socks, shoes, hair clips, lanyards, straw hats. I mean, look at this straw hat right here. Look at this. Look at this. I would wear this on the golf course. I sure would. I mean, look at that. Look how tight I look. Look at this. Look at me. Look at me. I should have wore this when I was spinning the wheel, baby.
You should have worn that.
On the boat. You know what I'm saying? So if you want something like this and wear it to the side, got to cock it a little bit. Dennis Erickson style. Come on through. Come on through. It's on the way to the stadium. Maybe like 10 to 15 minutes from the stadium. Straight shots to the stadium. Come on through. They always have great deals in here. A lot of merchandise, some slides, some flags, some stickers. They got every shoes, helmets. They got everything you want up in here. So come on through CaneSport. We love to have you here.
2655 South University Drive in Davie. You can also shop them 24 hours a day at caneswear.com. So it's not too late in the season to load up on some new stuff. You got holiday shopping season coming here real soon. And they've got stuff for men, women, babies, pets. Like you can do a lot of your Christmas shopping in one stop at CaneSport. So we highly recommend it. If you get a chance, stop by on your way to the stadium on Saturday. They'll be there in the morning, probably from 10 o'clock on, I would imagine. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. All right, LT, before we shift gears here, let's talk about some of the guys that emerged in this game. Gerard Pringle, Keelan Marion, Dalen Upshaw. We can go into more specifics later, but let's just really quick, what it meant to the team to get that injection of fresh talent.
I think it meant a lot. Those guys got their opportunity to get in there and do some damage. I watched Marion on the sideline before he had the nice catch across the middle. He was a little frustrated, but once he got that, man, his whole attitude changed, blocking wise. I mean, and to see the running backs get their opportunity, the Pringle kid. I mean, we saw some outside runs. We saw some different stuff. We saw some guys, it just looked different. It was an injection of energy, new faces. Wasn't the same still players or plays because they made some great plays. So I thought that because it's such a long season, and if we're able to get into the playoffs, those guys are going to help us get into the playoffs and win in the playoffs because you're giving them some valuable experience to play in games. And that's what all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Just a little bit of seasoning. It's getting close to Thanksgiving. Put some seasoning on that turkey. Put a little seasoning on that thing. And once you get that, man, you're off and running. So I was very happy to see those guys get in there. And, now we have some versatility. It's not the same guys just going up here, going there. It's some different stuff. And I would hope as a coordinator, you got some, and I don't know if you can say this nowadays, but you got some extra bullets in the chambers. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, that's important. That's important.
Well, I'll tell you, there was one guy in the stadium that I know that was more excited than you, and we're going to bring him on here in a second. But I just want to say before we bring Joe Echevarria on the show, I've been covering Miami football for 46 years. And I've seen this university go through a lot of growth stages and different administrations, different boards of trustees, different presidents, Henry King Stanford, Tad Foote, obviously, Donna Shalala, Julio Frank. And there was one constant through that entire period of time, and that was that the university didn't really support its athletic program. And the fact that Miami became as great as it did, despite that, is the hidden story of the U that nobody talks about, nobody really understands. It's long forgotten now, but I haven't forgotten it, and I remember watching a Randy Shannon get the head coaching job and have to go buy his own furniture and his own computers for the football offices. And as the years went by, it started catching up to Miami. And, now we're seeing a revival here under Mario Cristobal. And a lot of people credit Kirk Herbstreit for it. There's maybe a little bit of truth to that, but the University of Miami decided that it was going to get serious about athletics a little bit before that time, and the courtship of Mario Cristobal had begun and came to fruition, and Mario came in and inspired this whole university community to get behind athletics, get behind football. And had that not happened, okay, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about college football playoffs right now. I can promise you that. Okay, because Miami was at a real crossroads with its athletic program, with football, because it was changing around it. And the guy that's coming on the show now, I'm just going to flat say it, along with a couple of members of the board of trustees, is responsible for saving the University of Miami football program. Because if they had not been out front the way they were a few years ago. And, I know things went bad with one of the initial boosters and all that, but had they not been out front a few years ago and had the foresight to see where this thing was going, you'd be on the outside looking in right now. And so we're going to bring in University President Joe Echevarria. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time out to be here tonight. I know you and LT have been talking about this for weeks, but I mean that from the heart, and I'm going to shut up and let you guys talk. But, you and Manny and Jose and a couple of these influential guys in the university community, you literally have saved this program, and now hopefully it's going to continue to progress under the direction of Mario and everyone else that you guys have in place. But I just want, on behalf of all the fans, want to thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for having the foresight to put the power of the University of Miami, because it's always had power, but now you're putting the power of the University of Miami behind the athletic program and the football program. And on behalf of all the fans out here, I just want to thank you for that.
Much appreciated. Very kind of you, Gary. Very kind of you. Leadership's a team sport, not different than football. And lots of great people contributed to helping what is a incredible program. I got this U pin on me. I wear one every day. Because I'm in uniform, guys, as you can see, right? This is my uniform. I just got in from dinner. But when I went to school, which was in the 70s, because I'm older than both of you. When I went to school in the 70s, there was no U. We didn't throw up the U. Yeah. We won, I think my first year in college, I think we won 3 games. Our coach got fired in the middle of a WHA Houston Aeros hockey game in Houston. And this became something later. So I'm not confused about where this logo comes from. It comes from the proudest, in particular, 2 programs, baseball and football. But football, being the more dominant sport in America today, is really what put us on the map in terms of brand and brand recognition. Listen, man, I traveled the world in my whole life. It didn't matter if I'm in Hong Kong, Shanghai, Berlin, New York, Seattle. If I'm wearing something that says the U, somebody yells out the U to me, throws up a U at me. All of that happened because of the success of a bunch of young men and women in athletics. That's where it started.
Well, I got to say to you, President Joe, and I look at you as my friend, man. And you at the University of Florida, I will never forget this. You walked up to me and you said, hey, if anybody asks you why you're here or why you're down here, you tell them you're with me, the president.
Right.
And I said, holy crap. You said, it's because of guys like you. It's because of guys like you. This is why I'm down here. This is what I want to be. I want to be around you guys. So I want to rub elbows and I want to be right here with you, cheering us on. And man, I got to tell you something. You have been. But, you know, you got to get out of Mike's way now. You got to get out of Mike Irvin's way. But other than that,
Mike's intense. And you got a lot of bodily fluids on him most of the time.
Yes. I mean, you have told me a couple occasions, hey, they want me to go upstairs and shake some hands, but I can't right now. I'm down here.
Yeah, man.
Where's that passion come from? Where's that come from?
Well, Lamar, you know, look, you won a couple of titles, right? You were in the late 80, early 90 teams, right? Yes. I ain't going to mention this one game that I remember. I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to go with the championships, okay?
Yes. Let's go with the championships.
Because, you know, but you know, in sports, brother, in sports.
Yes.
You remember the losses more than you remember the wins, right? You know that. You played at the highest level. Gary and I maybe not, but you did.
Yes.
And so for me, I have a passion to be great at everything that we're involved in. We need to be great in academics. We need to have a great health system. And we need to be great in athletics. Because if you're not going to be great at something, why bother?
Why bother?
Nobody gets up in the morning and says, you know, I just want to be mediocre today.
Nobody.
Let's just be average. Nobody. And if they do, that's not the kind of people I want around.
Yeah.
I want people that want to be great at everything. And what is ultimately greater than winning? Winning at all three of those things I talked about. So, you know, I have a box. It's the president's box. God bless. It gets given to us. It's Stephen Ross's box. It's the owner's box. You know, it's got 60 seats, and I got wonderful people. So what I do now is, you know, I bring them down to the field.
Yes. Yes.
And I give them an on-field experience, which is really cool.
Yes.
Okay. I introduce them to all of you, you know, whether it's you, whether it's Ray, whether it's Mike, whether it's Andre, you name them, man. I introduce them everywhere. Jimmy, I got Jimmy coming back to games now. Jim Kelly came for the first time. I had Jim down, but I also had Jeff Bezos in my box.
Wow.
All these people want to support the University of Miami.
Yeah.
It is a glorious place. It shaped my life. I know it helped shape your life. And so this is just fun, man. I had a career already. I spent 40 years at a wonderful firm. It's fantastic, man. And I retired. Now I'm just having fun, man. Look what I'm doing right now. Okay.
Whoever thought being the president?
Look what I'm doing, man. If you would ask me when I was 17 years old, walking around that campus, I'm going to be on doing some show. What are you talking about, man? I'm going to be an accountant. I just need a job. Okay. Give me a job. I just need to pay some bills and I'll be happy, man. We're living the dream.
Do you sometimes just go home on the way home and just pinch yourself and say, man, I'm the president of the University of Miami. And by the way, one of my friends, Steve Kim, said, he ain't no Tad Foot. You're entirely different than Tad Foot, baby.
Well, look, we all have our strengths.
Yes.
Okay. And I know, Gary, earlier in the show, you mentioned Henry King Stanford. You were talking earlier about president. Henry King Stanford was my president when I went to school.
Mine as well, yeah.
It was my guy, right? There's only been 7. But you remember, I got a job I interviewed on the University of Miami campus. So where the brand new dorm is today was the apartments. There was no dorm. Like you remember that there was apartments over there, man. In fact, there was the football players' apartments, some of them, right? But it was also the career placement office. I got a job right in that room in 1977 interview. I started and worked for this terrific firm called Deloitte. I worked there for almost 40 years. Became the muckety-muck of the Deloitte firm all over the world. So I had a career. I was already a muckety-muck. I'd already done some exciting things. I was retired, so I'm just having fun now. Every day I have fun. It don't matter where I was, whether I'm downtown at the health system with our patients, whether I'm in the law school, the medical school. I go women's volleyball. Do you know my women's volleyball team is number 14 in the country?
Yes, sir.
Right? And we beat Florida State back to back. Beat them here, beat them there. All right. My 2 basketball teams are undefeated. Okay. We just signed 3 terrific women golfers today.
Wow.
So all of it is exciting. All parts of it, man. I'm 69 years old, having the time of my life, bro.
Whoever would have thought that being the president of the university would be your retirement job?
You know what? I would not have, but it's turned out to be glorious, Gary. Gary, come on, you're on the sideline. You're there with me. I'm shaking hands with fans.
Yeah.
I'm talking to parents.
Yep.
I'm talking to recruits. I'm talking to donors and board members. And you know what, Lamar? What's the funniest part, the most funny part, the most pleasurable part? I'm in the locker room. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm on the locker room. I'm in the dugout at basketball and in baseball and basketball. I'm at the court side. I watch all the guys come out. I high five with a bunch of them. I don't bother them. And then I walk out and I walk through the smoke. I don't know how you guys ran through that smoke. Okay.
I'll give you the secret. You got to grab the guy in front of you up
Yeah.
top. And if he goes down, you stop. If he disappears, you stop.
Yeah, but you see, that's okay when you're young and spry. Okay. Okay. So I'm walking through that, and I just walk. I let everybody go. I'm the last person to come through that tunnel, and I still can't get through the smoke, man. And I think to myself, if I start running, I'm not going to get through this. I'm just going to walk my way out of the smoke. Okay. So just think of the life all three of us have lived.
Yeah.
It's glorious, man. It really is glorious, and I'm proud to be here. Somebody said to me, I was telling my office today, because Lamar calls one of my assistants, Hilma. And she says, "You're going to do this show." I goes, "Yes, Lamar is one of my former students, and he is an alumni, and so is Gary of the University of Miami. These are my alumni. I do all sorts of things with my alumni, at games, at events, at fundraising. This is one of my alumni. I tell people all the time, my athletes are my students."
Right.
Panhandle Kane wants you to loosen your tie, though. He says, "If you're coming on."
And I appreciate his concern and suggestion, but this is my uniform.
That's his uniform. Hey,
this comes off when I am officially done for the day. Okay.
And look, he has his own locker, and he has the stuff that he's very superstitious too. He got his stuff now, and he has his own stuff, and then he has to be. I get it, man. I watch you sometimes. I'm like, man, he's just as superstitious as us.
Listen, man, and it's not me. It's the players that tell me the superstitious. They say, "You gotta wear the black. That's what you wore last time."
Yes.
In the middle of the Notre Dame game, in the first quarter, when we had just started, one of the guys gave me one of those towels that you guys use, the players. He said, "You gotta carry this towel." I carry that damn towel the whole game. If you catch me on the sideline, sometimes I got it in my mouth and I'm chewing on it. Okay. I got all these superstitions that come from other people, and they say, "Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the last guy out of the locker room, home and away, because I go to the away games.
Yes,
I get to as many as I can. I got all the superstitions, man."
Let me ask you this, because I had this question. I sat and talked to, God bless his dad, Tad Foote, and he pretty much shot down the whole notion of people come to the University of Miami also because of athletics, because they, up north, I had so many students come to me while I was playing and attending the University of Miami, say, "Hey man, I came here because I saw you guys kicking butt and I wanted to be a fan. Obviously I wanted to go to school here, but I wanted to be in the mix." As the president now, do you think they actually come because of athletics too, because of what we've done, that you built that brand?
Yeah, look, I think, I came before it was that thing, right?
Yes.
Gary must have come before, really, because we didn't know some of those guys. But I think any success you have as a university helps the institution. What athletics did was made us a national brand.
Correct.
See? It gave us recognition. Like in Nike, the swoosh, right?
Yes.
The swoosh, right? Jordan, the logo, right? Jordan, right? Coke, okay, well, what athletics did is made the brand an international logo. So the logo, what we call the U, that's a logo, basically. It basically was the greatest commercial we've ever had for the logo. Okay? So it put us on the map, and then you go and you learn a lot more about the U. The most powerful thing about the University of Miami is it's of Miami. We are of Miami. There is no other school that's of Miami, just us. Okay? We are of Miami. That's us. Nobody else has that moniker. Then we college game day. You guys were there college game day this year, right? I was there for the whole thing. Do you see that backdrop we got? A lake, beautiful dormitories that Gary did not exist when we went to school. Neither did you, Lamar.
No.
Those buildings didn't exist, man.
No, you tore down my
I
towers.
told my crew at the U.S. Listen, if I lived in it when I went to school, we need to tear it down. Right?
You
that
tore
means
down
it's
my
at
dorm
least,
room.
yeah, it's going down. That means it's at least 60 years old. Okay, because it wasn't brand new when I moved in 1974. Okay, we got Mahoney Pearson next, and then Eaton Hall. Because I lived in all those buildings, man.
I did too.
Of course you did. Everybody did if you're on campus. Okay? Except for the athletes, we let them live in the apartments. Okay?
Yeah.
We put them in those days in the apartments.
Yeah.
But my point to your point,
stop right
look,
there.
everything helped you.
Yeah.
Athletics made it prominent, made it recognizable. Now, if you make something recognizable and then you come and you have a bad experience, well, then that's not good enough, right?
Right.
So that's why we got graded academics, man.
Mhm.
We're an AAU school, we're a top 50 research school in the United States. That's what Tad Foote wanted to accomplish.
Yes.
He's the one who set that in motion a long time ago. We needed to have a world-class health system because you're in Miami. Donna Shalala bought one, and we learned how to run it 5 years ago, and now it's world-class. We've been world-class in athletics. We just didn't invest in athletics because athletics got expensive.
Yeah.
And we're a small private school, relatively speaking. But once we turned the health system around, then we had some capital. And I tell people all the time, it's not going to be due to a lack of investment that we don't win. It's going to be because we, including me, didn't make all the right choices. And that happens in life. You don't get it right all the time. You don't always get the right people. They don't always do. All that happens. Okay?
Right.
And so for us, to me, athletics is sort of the brand of the institution, and it elevates it, puts it in the center. Everybody, listen, I'm on the board of directors of Pfizer. I'm the lead director at the Bank of New York Mellon. They all know you. They all follow it. They all send me messages. Okay? It's part of the spirit of an institution.
Yes.
And athletics, as somebody typed in, if you're an athlete, as you were, and you learn a lot of life lessons in athletics.
Yes. Yes.
And the truth is, for you people like you who made it all the way to the NFL, you're still going to spend most of your adult life not playing football.
Yep. It's the
Most
start
of
on
your
life.
life.
Correct.
Correct. Is not going to be at the highest level. Tom Brady did it till he was 45. He's still going to spend most of his life not being a quarterback.
Correct.
Okay? And that's what the rest of the experience has to be about.
Yeah.
So when I see you guys on the sideline, or I see any of my alum, Gary is obviously one of my alum, I'm there for all of you, just like I'm there for all of my alum. You guys just happen to be prominent alumni, being you're recognizable. Okay. And remember, I go to all you guys all the time. I go, man, I wish I was the president when you guys played. Okay. I tell Jimmy Johnson that all the time. Okay. I said to Jimmy, Jimmy, I wish I was the president when you were the coach. And he goes, you know what? I wish you were the president when I was coach. That's what Jimmy and I were laughing about at the Notre Dame game. And I said Cleveland Gary. So you before your time, right?
No, I was with
Every
Cleveland.
time I see Cleveland Gary, I say that was not a fumble.
Yeah, I was with Cleveland. I was a freshman.
That was not a fumble, and they owe us that national championship. Lou Holtz says that championship, that's our national championship. That was not pass interference in the end zone. Ohio State owes us that national championship. Now, I do have to say Penn State did intercept 4 or 5 passes.
Yeah, I think it was more than that.
Yeah, it just happened. It wasn't our day. It wasn't our day.
Just like Alabama. Alabama got a couple turnovers from us.
It wasn't our day.
It wasn't our night.
Not our night. Tennessee rolled on us in Vinny's first year. We scored the first touchdown, and they rolled 35 straight points. Yeah, that wasn't our night. Frazier, I still see Frazier running around in the orange. Tommy Frazier from Nebraska. That wasn't our night. That wasn't our night. But you know what? We've had some glorious nights. You know what I remember in baseball? We're up 3-2 against LSU, bottom of the ninth. They had a two-run walk-off home run.
I cried.
I remember all these things, man. But I also remember being glorious and going to the Final Four.
Yes.
Going to the Women's Elite Eight. You know, what you don't know is in basketball games, since I can disappear, I go in the room and I start doing pull-ups when I get stressed. And I just do pull-ups. Okay, then I come back out and I can watch it some more.
Hey,
You
man,
ask Coach Lariniego.
I was about to ask you if I need to come down and go to a basketball game with you, but man, you doing pull-ups, man. I don't know about that.
When it gets tight, I get a little stressed. I gotta just work it off. I do some kind of exercise that I can fit. And in stairwells where you can get behind the staircase and pull yourself up. Okay. Yeah, against Texas, we played Houston and Texas in the Sweet 16 to get to the Final Four. I must have done 57 in the Houston game and about 50 in the Texas game. I would walk out and go, "Oh my God, I can't take it." I'm like a fan on the side.
Right.
I'm just a fan. I'm just walking. I'm complaining about things to myself. Obviously, I don't complain to our guys. Okay, I'm questioning everything.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time. They say call good plays. I say all the good plays are my plays. Okay?
Right.
Those are the ones I call. Okay, the ones that didn't work, those were not my plays.
That was not your call.
It's all glorious, guys. It is really all glorious.
So Joe, you retire from accounting, you get brought back to turn around UHealth. You're doing that, and in the meantime, athletics is over here on the side, and you're just a fan. You had no idea you were going to become the president of the University of Miami. What made that all come together for you to where you got that opportunity, and then so quickly flip that switch to make athletics a priority?
And you referenced something, Gary, and there's a lot of truth in the statement. And in fact, when I've seen Kirk at 2 game days. I saw him at Cal last year. Remember, they went to game day at Cal, coming out for Cam Ward, as I call it. They went to Cal, so I saw Kirk there, and then I saw him obviously at ours. And there was some truth when they ran that article, that story on ESPN, that game day, about a lack of alignment. The statement wasn't true, but what was true was the focus on it was true. It wasn't the alignment. We were aligned, but it wasn't a priority at that level.
Okay.
And so my dear friend Julio, and he is my dear friend. Remember, I was a member of the board of trustees because of my prior life.
Right.
I voted for Julio to be president of the university. I sat in the room, raised my hand. Then I got my bagel and cream cheese, and I went back to Deloitte. Okay. And so when we came back, Julio asked me, because he knew I loved sports. So he asked me to help with athletics, even though I was at the health system.
Right.
And my other dear friend, Rudy Fernandez.
Rudy.
Rudy. He asked me to help Rudy with athletics. And I said, okay, but then we're going to have to spend money because it's a new day. And you have to invest like any business. You invest, but I expect a return.
Correct.
So if I invest, I always tell my people, what do I get? Okay, I'm going to give you the funds you need, but what am I going to get? So when I tell my teams, I expect you to have the right culture, the right attitude, do all the right things. And then the on-field performance, I expect improvement every year. Listen, would I love to win a national championship? Yeah. But only one team's going to win, right? Just one team. I want to first improve. I want to then be relevant. I want to be on the national stage. I want to be people talking about us and where are you? And we've managed to get to that point.
Yes.
Now the final hurdle is still ahead of us, right?
Correct.
Final hurdle. This is how so Gary, that's what happened. What happened was I said, I'm happy to do it because I love athletics, and I love my university. But we have to invest because if we're not going to invest, then we're not going to be great. You got no chance to be great, not in this environment. Okay. And we had to make that commitment. And we did. And when you make that commitment, because of the new structure that's out there, right? You get transfer, you got all kinds of things.
All kinds, right? Yeah.
You can do it sometimes faster. You can also be one-hit wonders, right?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of programs that elevate and then they collapse. And I said, well, I don't want to be that. I want to be relevant every year, and I want to build a culture that gets us where we need to go, that recognizing we compete for national championships. Now, you got to win the ACC to compete for a national championships. And so it has to be a progression. We've still not made any of those goals, but it's only been, we're in year 4 with Mario. But we have improved 5 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. That's been our program so far. So therefore, that's progress. And as long as we continue to improve and we do it right, do it the right way, it's all good, man. So that's what happened, Gary. It really was that. And then one thing leads to another. You know, when you have success, you both do this. When you have people who work with you who do really well, the first thing you do is you give them more things to do, right? Oh, you're doing really well. Let me give you some more.
Yes.
You don't say you're doing really well. Let me take things away from you, right?
Yeah.
No, you give them more. So that's all that happened. We got lucky. Me and Rudy got lucky. We did a few things right. Okay, you just get more things. And one day you walk around and you're on a lunch break and they tell you, how about being the president of the University of Miami? I go, as long as I have fun, I'll do it. But I got to have fun.
You were on a lunch break?
Yeah, basically I was at lunch and this thing went on for a while. You know, you wait and people said, would you be interested? I said, listen, man, I haven't interviewed for a job since 1977. Okay. I'm not going to interview for a job now.
Right.
If you want me to be the president, you're going to have to ask me. And all kidding aside, it was a glorious experience. You know what it was? It was the day before the Louisville game last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
I
then
I remember I congratulated you that morning.
That's right. Remember that?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And then I jumped on a plane the next day, went to Louisville. I got my one and only game ball given me by the team. But more importantly, Matt McCoy carried me around the locker room, man. Okay. And he's a big young man.
Hey, and let me tell you something. Now, he was in the locker room and somebody, one of the guys was like, hold my helmet. And he gave it like towards me. President Joe grabbed it. I'll hold it. I'll hold it. I was like, what president does this? I love this guy.
Listen, man, when one of my guys had a little bit of a bump on an injury-wise, I went up to him and I said, no, you cannot go in on the next day. You need to rest a little bit here. I'll sit here with you, okay? And when you're ready, I'll let them know you're ready. As if I was a trainer or something, right? But listen, all you guys who play the sport, you put so much part of your physical body on the line.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not on the sideline, it's hard to process the speed of the game, the impact of the collisions. I tell people all the time, if I just fell to the ground at fast speed, I would never get up. Never mind somebody hit you, and then you guys just jump up and you do it again.
Yeah.
I have great respect for all of you because you guys do extraordinary things. But most of all, you're my students, man. You, my alumni now. Gary's my alumni. It's a great place, isn't it? To you?
Oh, it's an awesome place. And I got to tell you, we are so thankful for you being our president and so thankful for you to come on this show, man. I know for the president to come on, this is a big deal, man. Thank you so much, Press Joe. You know, that's what I call you, Press Joe, man. I appreciate it. And I'll see you this Saturday now.
You will see. Now remember, look for the old man walking out in the smoke.
In the back.
In the back. You just look for that guy and make sure he makes it through, Lamar.
I'll come help you. Thank you so much,
man.
Thanks for coming by, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Later. Remember, go Canes, baby.
That's right. Thank you.
Later, guys.
All righty.
I got to tell you something. They hired a basketball coach, Jay Lucas, who'd never been a head coach before. And it was elite, man. It's like when you hire head coaches that have never been head coaches before, it's a gamble. I mean, and it more often than not doesn't work out. You know, Miami went through it with Randy, with Larry, you know, and it didn't work out. And
with Manny
was another one, and you know, but the thing that they did, they immediately gave him the resources to be successful.
Yep.
And they got a $12 million loss to Lamar in basketball this year. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch this team.
I'm gonna go down there. You know.
You let me know. If you need tickets or whatever for your family, whatever. I've got some seats and stuff. But they look like the NBA G League team. I mean, the size and the bulk and the just the level of players they are. Now they're going to play Florida, defending national champs on Sunday night. We're going to find out how good they are right now. But I was just so impressed how they gave him the resources to be successful.
Yeah.
and it's going to pay off. You see, he's talking about the volleyball team, the golfers, they're building an entire program there and throwing support behind everything. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's important. It's very important, and to have a president that is behind athletics is awesome. And I know he has other things to think about, but he's also thinking about athletics, and that's a great thing. That is an awesome thing, and he's such a nice guy, man. To come on our show, that was big. So we appreciate it, and I hope you guys that got an opportunity to hear him. He's the same way on the sideline. He's a guy. He's yelling at the officials too, not as loud, but he's yelling at them. So he's a good guy, very good guy. And I was not a Tadfoot fan. I was not. I just didn't think he cared and didn't care to know us. He didn't care. But this guy, man, he wants to be around. And you know what? I really feel like he's not just that way with us as athletes. I think he's this way with students too.
Yeah.
I really believe that this guy will walk around campus and shake hands with everybody. And that's a good thing.
He really is. He's a special cat, man. He really is. And it's great that he came on the show. Now I want to clear something up before we get back to football. Yeah, I Ferminated Howard Stern. Did you see what a fool that guy was acting like while the president is on the damn show and some of the comments he was posting? Hell yeah. I got rid of him.
You got rid of him, Gary?
Oh,
good job, Gary.
I just threw him right in the freaking Lake Osceola, man.
Good job.
All right, LT. All right, let's get back to some of these football topics. There still is so much more to talk about. All right, Gerard Pringle. Okay, he comes out of I had seen him in practice. You've seen him in practice, and when you saw the flashes, we knew that he was a good prospect, true freshman. Does literally nothing for for the first 7 games of the season, and now here we are in game 8, and they throw him out there. It had a whole different look, Lamar. This kid, he reads his blocks really well. He knows how to hide behind the lineman, and then when he gets a gap, he hits it, man. He hits it hard and fast. Your thoughts on what you saw from Gerard Pringle, and do you think that he could have been contributing all season long, or is with a true freshman like this, does it take time before he's ready for that moment that he had on Saturday?
Well, coaching freshmen, man, I've always thought that you just didn't know who was going to show up. They might have success one game, then go in a hole the next game. Then, and when you have running backs like we have, I think it might have been good for him to sit and watch a little bit and maybe get a little bit more playing time. But the fact that now he's able to get it at a great point in the season where we really needed a spark, because of the way it's going, he's a different, he brings something different to the table. Something that we probably thought Jordan Lyle would be bringing to the table right now. So he's taken that and turned it into a positive, and he should get more playing time now. I mean, we're not at practice. I used to go to practice all the time, but I'm pretty sure for him to get his opportunity, it had to mean a lot to him. And so now you get that opportunity, you just looking to build upon it. And I'm thinking that the coaches, your coordinator is saying, you know what, we can do some different things with this guy that no one has seen, in our offense. And it'll be a different change of pace. No one is going to sit there and scout him when you're doing different stuff.
Right.
Because you're going to stay within the game plan. This is what they do. This is what now, since he got in the game, they might run outside with him a little bit, but throw some different things at him with this guy, because he has shown that he has a gear. He does, and he's excitable, So I think this is a good thing for us.
When you were coaching, how did you feel about playing freshmen?
I just thought that they would have 1 or 2 games that they were up here, and then it would be a lull, because you got to understand. So they playing 10 games in high school, right? That's like, and you do it every time you go up. So your 10 games in high school is you're like game 7 in college. You know what I mean? Or maybe 8. You know what I mean? And so you still got 4 more games to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, in their bodies, they're thinking, oh, the season should be over. And then you go to the NFL from college, you still got a bunch more games. You're like, you got preseason games, so you're halfway through the season when the season's ending. And you're like, damn. Yeah. So I always tried to play them in spurts because I just didn't know what guy was going to show up. And I could tell by warm-ups. I watched them in warm-ups. I could tell by watching the freshman in warm-ups if I should put him in the game. I had a freshman one game, he dropped every damn pass in warm-ups. Every pass in warm-ups. And then his daddy had the nerve to come in there on Sunday and say, why didn't I play him? I said, brother, he dropped every pass in warm-ups. You think I'm going to put him out there to mess up his confidence for life? No, he had to sit. And he was like, well, we might go somewhere else. Bye. See ya. I holler. There ain't no sweat off my back. But I had to let him know that, man, as a freshman, it's just every now and then you get that one guy. I mean, was Ahmad Richards a freshman?
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah.
That was a freak. That was a freak.
Yeah.
That was a freaky
Malachi Tony is a
Malachi
freak.
Tony is a freak.
Yeah.
But every now and then, these guys, man, they start off good. It takes them a while because they're trying to adjust. And the old days, like myself and Kelvin Harris, who's on here on the chat sometimes, we got a chance to acclimate ourselves to college. The workouts, class, social, football, all these things, we got a chance to come along slowly. And we didn't have a lot of guys. I think my freshman year, Charles Farms was the only one who was my roommate. That shit was going fast for him. As my roommate, I saw it. It was going fast for him.
Yeah.
But, it's a different game when you're playing as a freshman. So I think that nowadays that the kids are doing a lot more training than we probably did. They got these guys that they pay to train you, and it's just a different ball game. Some of these guys are able to handle it, but some aren't. And that's where you have to watch them and decide instead of saying, hey, man, you're going to play as a freshman. You got to watch them and see if they're ready to play as freshmen, because you don't want to put a guy out there who's a freshman. It will destroy their confidence. And I had that happen in Kentucky where I told our coordinator this kid was not ready to play as a freshman, but because he was good friends with the coordinator, was good friends with his daddy, he put him in there. He never developed into shit. So, I'm just saying, you got to bring them along as they are. If they're ready, you bring them along. If they're not, you sit them back. That's it. And let them watch.
And that's why, we see the coaches, like, as far as this year's team is concerned, why they go in the transfer portal and get a Marty Brown.
Yes.
We had a full running back room.
Yes.
They went and got Marty Brown to fortify it. The receiver room, Keelan Marion, Tony Johnson. Tony Johnson's gotten beaten out by Malachi Tony.
Well, yeah, he has. But he was sick last week, and then because of that, somebody else comes in and has a good day.
Dalen Upshaw.
That's when you know you're on to something.
Yeah.
Because the next man up mentality, that's how you know we're turning the corner on certain things. Because let me tell you something. When we were at the University of Miami, you couldn't afford to miss something. Because the next guy behind you, he's going to get in and do his thing, and you might not ever get in again.
Yep.
That's a luxury. If you have that type of luxury, we're on to something.
Yeah. Yep, no doubt. All right, so Dalen Upshaw, I just mentioned his name. He gets in there and busts a 41-yard play on the bubble screens that weren't working so great with the other guys, LT. I mean, I admit it, I'm guilty. I'm sitting there watching this all season long. Like, Shannon, you got to stop with the bubble screens. You're wasting plays. It's holding you up. It's putting you in third downs, and you're all not converting enough of them. 30%, 40%. It's holding back your offense. Get vertical. Listen, I'm saying it the whole season, and I'm not going to say I was wrong either, but it looked different when Upshaw took that one, and the way he hit it, and the timing was perfect, and he got a 41-yard gain.
Good
And
blocking.
Lamar, I watched that kid in every practice I watched in the spring and the fall. That kid was making plays. Okay, I mean, as much as any receiver on this team. And we used to say the freshman receivers were the best receivers on the team before the season. And but we're seeing, Josh Moore, he comes and goes. Even JoJo Trader, who's a second-year player, he comes and he goes. You're not getting a whole lot of consistency with those with all these young guys. But I was really impressed with the way he when he got his opportunity and he got that ball in his hands, he executed that play perfectly. And I got to think that when you take these two young guys, that they'll start seeing a little bit more reps now.
Well, now you're not held hostage as a coach. You're not held hostage as a coordinator because you got other options. And I love it because, and Beard has suffered through that before, where he was held hostage when a couple years ago when he had nobody else to put in there. Now you got guys.
Yes.
You got different guys that, hey, man, you're not doing the job, get your ass out. And Beard's not going to say it like that, but I would. But Beard say, hey, get your butt out. You know what I mean? And so he's loving the fact that now you can do that. Because at one point he couldn't do that. You're stuck with those guys, and that's who you got to play, and nothing else. But it's a luxury, and that's a good thing to have, where guys are being able to step up. Because again, this is a long season. If we're able to make it to the CFPs, okay, now you got different bodies in there that can help you, and different options, different styles, different plays you can call that maybe another team hasn't seen before. Different options. So I like it. I like it a lot.
Another one I wanted to talk about is Keelan Marion. He's been getting opportunities all year long. He's a little older now. He came here from BYU. He came here as a kick returner, okay? And nobody really thought of him as a complete receiver. He has turned into a complete receiver here at Miami. Had 3 catches, 116 yards the other day. We saw him take a ball across the middle and turn it into a 61-yard touchdown against Syracuse. So your impressions of Keelan Marion?
Well, I was sitting over there watching him. He was a little upset in the beginning of the game that he, and that's a good thing. I mean, all receivers, we always think we're open. So I was watching him, and he was able to get that play. I mean, he has to be feeling like he is to be a student athlete at BYU, where you can't do anything. To be down here in the South Florida atmosphere, he must feel like he's fallen and bumped his head and woke up and went to Wonderland or something. I don't know. But, I mean, this is a whole different environment than what he just came from. So to see him doing well, I've been asking where is he in the return game because that's what he was brought here for. But it seems like he's been concentrating on being to get his receiver stuff together. And that's a good thing because, again, you need different types of guys to be able to call different types of plays. You know what I mean? It gives the defense something that they haven't seen before. If you run one type of play to one guy, they start looking for it. Now you're putting different guys in there that, okay, if you got JoJo Trader out here, maybe he's not getting the job done. Let's put another guy in that place, and he shows up. And now you got when JoJo finally shows up, now you got 2-3 guys doing it. So it is going to be a great thing as long as they continue to improve, because they're also, like I told them before the game, you are working on your legacy. What will you be remembered here as? Just a guy? Is that what you want? That's not what we've never had just a guy. We've had guys, real guys. And so you got to tighten up and do everything you can to make yourself become real guys.
Yeah. So first possession of the game the other day, Shannon Dawson calls a pass play. Malachi Tony's wide open in the middle of the field. They bust the coverage. If the ball gets to him, he's probably going to go for a touchdown, big touchdown play. The ball gets batted at the line of scrimmage. Syracuse sees that, and they adjust immediately. And they start bracketing Malachi Tony.
Yes.
He only had 2 catches for 12 yards, Lamar.
Yeah.
2 catches for 12 yards. This kid's been a superstar the first 7 games of the season. So teams are going to start bottling that now. He's going to get extra attention. He's going to probably start getting double covered a lot more because they know if they don't double cover him, he's getting open and it's probably going to be a big play. He doesn't drop the football. What happens now, LT?
Everybody else has to step up. That's where those options that, whether it's Pringle in the backfield, Upshaw, catching screens. I mean, I think Malachi was one of the blockers on that thing. You know what I mean? So they got 2 guys that are looking at Malachi, and all of a sudden the guy cuts inside and he's taking off. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Other guys are going to have to step up. And good teams, that's what they do. I mean, I going back to my time, Florida State with their coordinator, he figured out one thing. Gino Toretta was looking at one guy on 3rd down, and that was me. And so I was his safety blanket. So what did they do? Mickey Andrews said, okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my best guy on you and follow you around on 3rd down. And we had already said we weren't throwing that to Terrell Buckley. So other guys had to step up. Whether it was Coleman Bell catching a big catch that kept the drive going, Horace Copeland catching the 4th and 6th, Kevin Williams catching screens. Somebody, the running game with Steve McGuire, somebody else had to step up because I was taken out of the game. And that's just the nature of it. So that's what we're here for. Can't always be that guy. It can't always be Malachi Tony. Somebody was going to take him away. The thing that I wanted to see was who was going to be able to step up and take the slack. I said that all season long, that somebody was going to say, we'll just bracket the kid. We'll take him away. We'll see if they got anybody else. And I'm just happy that some other guys showed up, and that will be the game plan for the rest of the year. Other guys going to have to show up. And, when we get CJ Daniels back, that's another bullet in the chamber. So, and he's made some big plays for it. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm thinking that now they've seen it, 2 catches for 12 yards. Okay, it is what it is. Take me away. My other guy's going to get off. But at some point, as we get further down the line and we're playing the teams that think they're all that, they're going to single him up.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll get opportunities.
And then he's going to get
the other guys start hitting on enough plays. That will take them out of that most likely.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Is there anything Shannon Dawson can do in the meantime just to keep him involved, make sure he gets some throws, some balls?
I mean, and I don't know. I mean, he seems very mature to be a freshman. Okay, he seems very mature. At some point, as much as I wanted the ball, I wanted the ball. Okay, at some point, winning becomes more important than wanting the ball, right. Especially when it's an opportunity. I mean, we played Penn State up there. I had a streak. I was breaking Michael Irvin's streak of balls, 1 ball caught in each game for whatever. And Coach Harrison asked me in the 4th quarter, what's open? No, he asked me early in the game, what's open? I said, nothing. They're dropping 8 guys. Keep running it. Donnell Bennett and Larry Jones had huge days. I had no catches going into the 4th quarter. None. But I wasn't concerned because I wanted to win. Luckily, I caught one down the sideline, probably greatest catch I've ever made. I dove for it. They said I stepped out of bounds, so they took the catch back. And then a big 4th down, I caught to keep the clock going to end the game. I think I had 1 catch for 6 yards. But I didn't give a damn. All I cared about was the win. That 1 catch kept the clock moving, and we were able to down the ball. That's all I cared about. Because winning, to me, as more we won, the more people are going to see us, the farther we're going to go as a team. And, that's I think the kid is mature. I really do. I don't think he's the guy that's going to be, because that block, I think he was the guy that sprung that block on that run.
I'd have to watch it again, but I think you're right.
I think it was. And
Yeah.
so that's telling you that this kid is a team player that only wants to win, and he'll do what he's already shown he'll do whatever. Hell, he played in high school. He put his stats aside to go replace Dia Bell and be the quarterback. I mean, he's shown that he'll run reverse passes, throwing to guys, throwing dimes.
Yeah.
So he's already shown that he'll do whatever it takes to win. So, hey, if you want to double him, go ahead and double him. Those other guys step up. Then eventually you're going to go back to single, and he's going to tear your ass up.
Yeah. And Carson Beck's got it. The onus is on him to find the right guy.
Yes.
He's got to find the open guy. If he's got to identify that Malachi is double teamed and that the passes that he was able to get to him earlier in the season are not necessarily going to be there. And he's got to be more aware of everybody else on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it does, they'll start scoring 38 points like they did last week. If they don't
get some help from that number one. I mean, that defense got to be ranked in the top 5 right now. I mean, they've played their butts off this year. They've had a quarter or two, but for the most part, our defense has played pretty damn good. And when people talk about the University of Miami, they are mentioning that defense and what their defense has done this year. So, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that one of our safeties might have to sit out this game.
We're not
injured.
We're not sure at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not sure at this point, but there's been some stuff going on online about that. Penalties, Lamar, they were able to clean them up this week. They got flagged 5 times for 54, but it wasn't like it had been.
Yeah,
they weren't the game. Even those 5 penalties weren't the game-changing type of penalties that we had been seeing earlier. Your thoughts on that?
What was it, 5 for 54? 5 for
54. Yep.
Mario should have added 15 more and went over there and slapped the hell out of Fran Brown. But I mean, one pre-snap penalty.
Yeah, just accidentally plow into him on the sideline.
Yeah, just accidentally, man, just bam. But that in itself, okay, that's a good thing, because you think about it, the game was going nip and tuck in the beginning. Nobody was really doing too much. A lot of punts. We pre-snapping, we giving them good field position. We're giving them, all these things that could go on this. And that turnover right before the half, that was big. That was huge, because they score, then they get the ball back at halftime. I mean, it could be a different game. So again, our defense is playing well. One pre-snap penalty. We cut down on the penalties. If we can continue that, it gives us a chance to win this game against NC State. The game we need to focus on right now is NC State. We take care of business. Everything is opening up for us, but we have to take care of our own business.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's talk about NC State a little bit. A couple years ago, there was a skinny quarterback over there at Chaminade High School.
Yes.
And he was impressing people, but it was clear, that he had some developing left to do. And, Miami took a look at him, and they decided to go in a different direction. They at quarterback. And he ended up going off to NC State, and he's done great there. Making $2 million a year right now, Lamar. Talking about TJ Bailey, the Hollywood Chaminade grad, who's the quarterback for NC State, and $2 million a year, but they're getting their money's worth out of the offense. The defense is horrendous, but offensively, they've been scoring pretty well. They put up 45 points on Georgia Tech in their last game to upset the Yellow Jackets, and now he comes home to Miami LT. What do you think's going through his head?
I mean, he has 2,400 yards, he's completed 203 passes out of 287. I mean, he's 70% completion. I mean, the kid is playing lights out. I mean, I thought, and I told you this, and I've told other people this when I've talked about this guy, I thought coming out of high school, he was a guy that could go off to another school, get a good little weight on him, get a little bit more experience, because I watched him play at Chaminade. He was pretty good. I mean, but I was thinking that he would go off to a smaller school, maybe like I don't know, like a Connecticut or something, okay? And get some playing time, build it up, and then come back. But let me tell you something. The kid can play, man. He might be auditioning, okay?
So I was
He
going to ask
might be auditioning.
you
He
think he's
might be.
looking at this as an audition
Yes.
to try
Yes.
to get Miami to take him in the portal at the end of the season?
I mean, hey, man. I mean, the kid is a baller. He's playing well. You know, they got those. Well, they had the two running backs. One of them, Smothers, is out, but they got a dynamic offense. They're playing well. Like you said, their defense is not really that good, but on offense, man, he is the guy that's making it happen. So, you know, again, 70%. I mean, that's pretty good. So, you know, his guy 19 touchdowns. You know, he's throwing some interceptions, but, you know, if he continues to improve, man, I mean, I didn't know he was getting $2 million. God, Lord, have mercy.
$2 million, yeah.
Is that the going rate for a starting quarterback?
100%. Hey, the guy playing at Duke's getting $4 million. Carson Beck's getting $4 million.
Jesus.
That's the market now for quarterbacks. And, you know, if you're NC State and you got a good one, if you don't pay him that $2 million, somebody else will.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Man, that is incredible, Gary. I didn't know that. Man, $2 million.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's probably average.
Good Lord, have mercy.
Yeah. So does he come down here this weekend with an axe to grind? Or does he come down here thinking, I'm auditioning, I want these guys to want me, I want to come home and play? They're going to need a quarterback after this season to come in at worst to compete with Emery and Luke. I want to be that guy. Well, what do you think's going through his head this week?
I think, first of all, he comes down here wanting to compete with his family, you know, to see his family gets to see him compete, okay? All his friends, his peers, he wants to come in and have a good showing for them. Then also, he wants to show Miami that, hey, man, maybe you didn't think I was good enough. Let me show you that I am. You know, that's what I always said about those kids in Louisville that were from South Florida, always had an axe to grind. That's why they always played, because they felt like, you know, maybe, and we, as a coach, I kind of nudged them a little bit on it. Man, they ain't want you, dog. Good Lord. They ain't even recruit you, did they? And I just throw it in the face. So I think that he's going to come down here having to, you know, with a little, he's going to take some chances because he wants to do well against the University of Miami at home. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays. You know, if he takes too many chances, our defense is playing very well, and it's probably the best pass rush he's seen. Their O-line has seen. So he could be running for his life, or he could be throwing it up there and letting his receivers. And our secondary is playing pretty good. So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing shapes itself out.
Yeah. All right, LT. Let's take this thing home tonight with a little word association. When I don't know why, because I don't know how many years he was the head coach there. I would have to look it up. It might have been 3, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. But when I think of NC State, I think of Chuck Amato, the old Florida State guy that went up there and kind of revived that program a little bit. So let me start. I know you knew Chuck a little bit. Let me start with Chuck Amato.
Old Chuck, man. That old voice, that raspy voice, and them shades he used to always wear. He had a little style. He had some style. So Chuck had some style coming from Florida State, man. What a great coach, man. Great person to talk to on the road. Always, you know, he's always giving advice, man. What a great guy. I had opportunity to talk to him almost every year on the road. Just a great guy, man. And like you said, he went up there and was there for a couple years. And you're right. When I think of him, when I think of NC State football, I think of him, and then I think of Doran. I mean, but I think of him first because he went up there. He brought an attitude up there and kind of changed the culture. Kind of changed the coach.
Yeah, you didn't want to play them in a night game up there. I'll tell you that.
No.
He always had them ready for those night games.
No, you did not want to play them in the night game. Let's see, how many years was he there? Let's see, he was NC State. He was head coach from 2000 to 2006.
Yeah, 6 years.
See, he was a GA there in 71, 72, and then he was a DB coach 73 to 75. Then a linebacker DC from 76 to 79. So he had been there before.
He'd been there before, and then he went with Bobby Bowden to Florida State.
Yes,
right?
He went to Arizona, then Florida State.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the guy that replaced him, Dave Doran.
Yes.
He's been there 13 years, LT. They've about had enough of him. His job's on the line here down the stretch. What comes to your mind if I say Dave Doran?
I had the opportunity to coach against him a couple of times at Louisville. They always had some pretty good receivers. Always had those guys ready to play. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Patrick might have been coaching D-line up there.
Yes, he was.
So he talked very, very highly of him. He just never had the real dogs. Not too many. He had a couple, but not too many dogs. So, and you know what? Maybe he might be one of those guys that says, hey, man, this thing is a little bigger than me right now, and maybe I should step away. He's been there a long time. He's seen the game change. And so this might be the farewell song for him. Because, again, when he first got into it, it wasn't like this. And he's probably having a hard time dealing with this whole NIL thing and the kids. And so he's been there a long time. It's 10 years. So this might be the end of the road for him. So I'm pretty sure he's looking to have some farewell songs on some of these teams. So his kids are either going to play well for him to get him up out of there, or play bad for him to get him up out of there. So I don't know.
Yeah, this NIL thing is not for everybody, Lamar.
No.
It's like I go to the basketball games. I'm watching Jimmy Larinaga sitting there on the sideline now. He sits at center court and watches this dream team that Jay Lucas has put together. They didn't give Jim anywhere close to the budget that they're giving Jay Lucas, but I don't know that Jim would have been able to do what Jay Lucas is doing.
Right. I mean,
it's a whole different skill set.
You think of the best coach that coached in college football. He's sitting there doing what we're doing right now because he was like, shit, this is tough. This is hey, I got a car dealership. No longer are just a Mercedes-Benz enough. You know what I mean? No longer is giving money to the church enough. We give 20 to the church. The parents get 15, the church get 5. That ain't enough no more. They want millions. So he got out. Him and Miss Terry said that's enough. We'll do the commercials from now on.
We'll do the commercials. Yeah, we don't need to be. It's not for everybody, and it's funny. You think about Mario. Like before all this NIL stuff, Mario was considered one of the best head coach recruiters in the country.
Yeah,
and everything's changed on him. Now it's so much more about the money and the management of the money. But you know what? Mario's embraced it. In a little, they're doing a pretty damn good job over there, Lamar, of managing this NIL. It helps to have a president like Joe, giving them what they need. And
you had to add different positions, Gary. You had to have somebody like a GM that's in charge of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's no longer, it's about slotting guys and figuring money out. It's no longer just evaluating their talent. Because what comes along with that is how you slot them and how do you say this is how much you're worth. You know what I mean? Oh, he's a good player, but how much is he worth? And so they've had to hire a lot of people over there.
Yeah, those GMs are starting to get paid too. Their salaries are going up fast. I'm talking 750, 800,000, even in some cases $1 million a year. Those guys are making cash. To be GMs of these football programs. And but I got to give them credit. I mean, Joe's a big part of it because he gives them whatever they need. But, somebody's got to be making the decisions on how to spend it. And I thought that this year they really did a great job of spending it and put a good roster together. And if this team ends up not winning anything, Man, that is going to be a crying shame, and they're going to look back at those 2 games, and man, like, woof! I don't even want to think about it. All right, let me go to Carson Beck.
Well, I would love to see this offense open up more. If you're going to do the trickery stuff, hey, it is what it is. But I want to see, my opinion, I want to see it open up. I want to see some throws downfield. I want to see some intermediate passes. I want to see some quick hitters, some hitches, some curls. So I want to see all this stuff. I want to see some slants. I just want to see the ball being thrown around the yard. Not saying I don't want to see the running game, but it gets a little boring after a while. And I want to see some guys catch passes, man. So Carson, you're getting paid a lot of money, dog. I hope it's in your responsibilities to make the checks and maybe check some throws, man, because I think everybody knows that you might be running the ball. So I would love to see you throw the ball around and have one of those career days where you're throwing it around the yard. And this is a great opportunity, I think. It's a great week to be able to do it.
Yeah, we can only guess what happened to him in the Louisville game. I just felt like he was trying to win the Heisman Trophy that night, and he was paying no attention to coverages. Like he kind of lost his mind a little bit.
Like he predetermined who he was throwing to.
Yeah. He kind of lost his mind a little bit that night, and I think they lost a little bit of confidence in him. I mean, this is me just observing, but that offense was different the other night. When they started getting more aggressive on the early downs, they were only 33% in the Syracuse game on third down, Lamar. This is not a good third down football team. And it's because the defenses know that Carson Beck's weakness is he doesn't perform well when he's under pressure. And so they bring pressure on third down, and he doesn't perform well. And the games they lost, they had 40% third down conversions. They won the other day going away, but they had a 33% conversion rate on third down. They won because they got more aggressive on the early downs. They hit big plays, and they stayed out of third down. I think they had one third down situation in the second half. They found the formula, in my opinion. Now they got to bottle it.
You hit it right on the head as far as they weren't behind on the first, early downs. They were ahead on the early downs, and they gave yourself an opportunity to have a 3rd and 1. Okay.
Or not have a third down at all because you're hitting the big play.
Well, there's a 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 8 that drive me nuts. But they were able to stay ahead of the chains, and it was a good thing. And like I said, it seemed like those kids were having fun, man. It seemed like our team was having fun. People in the stands were having fun. I really wish there was more people to watch that game. I get it. I've been in South Florida for a long time, and it's not an excuse. It's just that I know people just don't show up sometimes.
Hopefully they come back this weekend.
Yes, hopefully they come back. It's the last game. It's the last game. There's a great opportunity for, this a momentum builder. Okay, the kids need it. Come on out and support them.
All right, let's bring it home with Mario Cristobal.
Talking to President Joe, Mario has, this is a great opportunity for him to continue on his progression. We talked about winning games. We talked about being relevant. We talked about maybe getting to the ACC championship or getting in the CFP. But once we won some games, we were back relevant again. Now we need to get that hurdle to get those as we progress, hit one of those 2 milestones, whether it's ACC or college football playoff. But it's us taking care of our business, putting some points on the board. And I think he has to know that. And in order for us to do that, we got to be ready. And we have to concentrate on this NC State game. And I think Mario, being around him, I think he understands the task at hand, so this is a big game for us. I mean, every game got bigger after those losses. So here's an opportunity for, what do they say? Oh, well, he can't win the big game. Well, this is a big game. Syracuse was a big game. You know, people don't, you might not count it as a big game, but after what happened last year, and we could have gone in that game, you look at the first 2 quarters, it was a big game. So now you go to NC State. You got to pull out a big game, Mario. This is a big game for you. It might not be the name Notre Dame, but this is a big game because it gets you closer to your goals. And I'm hoping he knows that.
All right, LT, great show. We got to thank Joe Echevarria for coming on. Really
President Joe.
that. And thank all the fans who have watched tonight. And thank you to CaneSport for once again being the sponsor of the Lamar Thomas Show. Without question, your best place to go shopping for Miami Hurricanes gear. Go on by there on your way to the stadium on Saturday. God, I like that hat. I don't really wear hats, but I like that one. You know what would look good in that hat is Bobby Bowden.
Bobby Bowden.
But, yeah, CaneSport's got a little bit of everything from the Canes fan, men, women, kids, babies, pets, all different sizes. So get on by. If you can't make it to the store, go to CaneSport.com and check it out. So for Lamar, I'm Gary. Thanks again, everybody. And we will see you at the stadium on Saturday. And then next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great night.
Go Canes.